So hello traders, it's Samurai Trader here. Welcome to session 2. I recorded last week session 1 where I gave a rundown of how I trade the ES, the markets to consider, targets to go for, etc. So this is the follow-up video where I'm going to replay a number of live trades where you'll be able to watch how I place my trades and then manage a trade. But it's also very important that you have some really good background on what I'm looking for and why I have certain targets. So we'll go into a few slides in my PowerPoint just to give a refresher and to catch up. But first of all, as we get underway, can you really do this? Lots of people say, well, look, Ray, you've been trading now for 28 years, you've had your own prop room, you've got the experience. What hope have I got as an individual trader or a brand new trader? Well, let me show you this on the chart. Can you see the arrows? Do you think when you saw an arrow appear you could take the trade? Now, I don't want to oversimplify it because there's also some other consideration, such as, do we have a trend, as you can see just here? But overall, you can clearly identify potential trade entries with two key indicators that I have. One is my turning point indicator, the arrows, and then the super scalper, which is the white paint bars you can see there. Now, what is really important, I'm not after the home run. I just want to get on base. I just want to hit my daily target and finish for the day. Now, on the one tick ES, $375 trades, which is 3 6-tick trades a day, will net you $200 a contract. That may not sound like much, but in a moment I'll show you the massive compound effect that actually gives you. These are 6-tick moves. Now, this is just before the trades I'm about to show you that I took live. Now, I'm just going to scroll back here for you. Note all of the arrows. Your best setups traders are when you have a deeper retracement and a bounce off one of my EMAs. You can scalp some of these shallower pullbacks. In fact, I call them 16-13s. And you only need to scalp 3 ticks, 4 ticks at a time. For 4 ticks will give you $50 a contract, let's say $5 in commissions, and they are everywhere. Now, with today's trading, I've been waiting to fire off a few trades, but it's been very quiet. It's Chinese New Year. It's a bank holiday in the US, I think Canada as well. We've got some other international markets are closed. So normally where you see me trading the ES during the Globex session or during the New York afternoon session, the afternoon session suits me because I'm down under, so therefore the morning is just too late. The New York morning session is too late in the evening for me. But also the one tick is too fast during most New York trading sessions. However, if you're prepared to get home from work at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time and fire off some of these trades, you generally have some great trading opportunities. Now, what if, like today, the ES is very quiet? I'll show you how I trade the yen and the euro using the currency futures markets. And so I'm up about, as you'll see in a moment, $900 odd on 2 trades, and this ain't rocket science. It's a matter of discipline, patience, and having the right education and the right tools to boot. I've got a bit of a sore throat. You'll have to excuse me if I sound a bit croaky here. So let's get into this. First of all, how to day trade any market, the $1,000 a day challenge. Now this is session 148 part 2. I am going to replay how I trade the ES, but I'm also going to give you a lot of how-tos, a great deal of information in this session. As always, there is a risk in trading. I do need to pull up the disclaimer. Don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. And the great thing with most trading platforms today, traders, is you can trade on the simulator. You've even got what we call data replay. So say over a weekend you can download the data and you can play it through, say, NinjaTrader 8, just like you would a normal on a normal trading day, and so you can simulate actual trades setting up. A great way to gain knowledge. Now, first of all, a game changer for 97% of a population, $1,000 a day. I'm going to show you how to do that. Look, just for this session, please be open-minded to the possibility that this is real and you can do it. And of course, we hear of the billionaire funds managers and day traders and scalpers, etc. They're real, they're out there, and I'll show you how I do it. And once again, it's not rocket science. And I remember Linda Rasky, who's really famous, lovely lady. She said she's been a trader for over 30 years, done very well during that time. As she says, that day trading has nothing to do with intellect. It really comes down to perseverance. And as Mark Douglas, the great trading psychologist, unfortunately Mark passed away a couple of years ago, as he would say, find a trading system that is mechanical, that is pattern based. And that's what I trade. I trade patterns. Now, if you want to be earning your $1,000 a day, you can be trading, say, 5 contracts at $200 a day, or 2 at $500 a day. Now I'm going to show you those and how to do that, and I'll be teaching you pretty much in a I'll try to get this all in within 30 minutes, what I call the easy money trades, particularly the trend following trades. Now, just whilst I've been waiting, and this is really where we are right now time-wise, I just took a screenshot, so it's about 10 minutes ago. I'm already up 981 on the yen and on the euro. Now, these two markets are brilliant to trade after hours, and the reason being, the currency futures contract is a contract that's put out by the CME, which basically models the Forex market. And if you get home from work or trade the Globex session, of course the euro, or particularly the yen, the Japanese market's open, so you get some fantastic volume. The other great thing about the currency futures markets, if you trade the yen, the euro, or the pound, they're only $6.25 per little tick there, $6.25. And so it's you only need, you don't need a great deal of capital to be safely trading this market. So more on that later on. Actually, not on those markets. We'll focus on the ES. Very quick advertisement though, if you haven't already requested my ebook, please look in the description link below. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and better still, become a member. I'll be very quick with this and we'll get into the content. For $297 traders, you get all of my indicators. There are over 200 hours of training. There's 38 PowerPoints last time I checked. It's probably the most comprehensive, as you're about to see, program in the world today. Literally, you'll see that in a moment. Now, I've been trading now for over 28 years, and that's why you should really just take the time and listen to what I have to say. There's no smoke and mirrors, there's no magic indicators, by the way. You can do what I do on just about, and day trade just as I day trade on just about any good trading platform. I started out, as I mentioned, 28 years ago. That's me before I went gray. One of my staff here, and the old computer monitors back then, and we used to call it the Bat Cave. And the reason we called it the Bat Cave, it's hard for you to see there, I had an office in the city of Melbourne, and I lived in an apartment in the city, and all of my windows were blacked out, so I could go home and sleep during the day and trade over night time during the US hours. And so what that has given me really is the right to talk to you about trading. And so I promise you, I'll give you some ideas that will make a massive difference to your bottom line. And last of all, when it comes to the members area for my members, it's extremely comprehensive. There's literally hundreds of hours of training, but the good news is you don't have to go through it all, because my job as your coach is to really, the best way I can put it, learning how to trade day trade and scalp the markets can be a little bit like trying to drink out of a fire hose. My job's to break it down and make it easier for you. And so there are literally dozens of different folders here, but in my training I only set you up, well, there's about 15-16 trading strategies. There's only 3 or 4 that are really necessary trend following strategies, which I'm about to show you. And last of all, I run a live trading room, so February 2026, there's 268 people join me at that, and there's 274 in my coaching program. And with the coaching program included in the 297 as a bonus I've got going at the moment, you can attend 8 of those 2-hour live sessions where I'm teaching you step by step how to scalp and day trade the markets. In these sessions we go through trades of a day, what setups, where to enter, where to place your stop, etc, etc. So that's all included. And they are recorded if you can't attend the live session. Okay, let's now get into this. Now I'm going to just what can I do there? Let me just move this camera here. Let me go to the bottom right here, because I want you to be able to see, and I need to see these slides just here. So on this particular trading session, nothing exceptional about this. Ignore the dollar sign there. But if you're after your $200 a day, okay, which I'll show you the massive impact that has, or what it can mean to you, or 250, so it's 16 ticks to 20 ticks net. Now remember I mentioned about the arrows, arrow, arrow, arrow. I didn't take that one nor that one, but I took this divergence trade and I took the arrow just here. There's sound logic behind these. In fact, my turning point indicator is based upon a triple smooth weighted moving average. How's that for a mouthful? And it just pinpoints beautifully turning points on basically any market, any time frame. Is it the holy grail? Of course not. And that is, you've got to learn to think in probabilities. Is that over a series of say 20 trades, I know I've got a very good chance of being right 16 out of those 20. We've got to learn to think and trade like a casino. Now also, these setups is nothing new, unique. Like some of these markets are the Russell, some are oil, some are gold. It really doesn't matter which market you're trading with this. And in fact, there's a famous trader called Richard Dennis, and Richard was once interviewed, and he said, if someone ever brings me a trading strategy, and if it won't work on say hogs or orange juice, but it'll work on the S&P or vice versa, I won't trade it. Any good trading methodology you should be able to apply to any market that has liquidity and some volatility. So let me first of all explain my trading philosophy. This is critical because it'll make a massive difference to your bottom line. I'm not after a home run. That is, I just want to get in, get out, get paid. And in this excellent movie with Brad Pitt in it from 2011, it's called Moneyball. And a key line in it, he tells his baseball players, don't try to go for the home run, just get on base. And so what I'm doing is just scalping in and out, in and out, in and out. In fact, I think I showed it in a PowerPoint is it here? Might have been in session 1. Maybe I don't have it just here. But as Al Brooks said, that good scalpers are right about 90% of the time, because we can just get those little moves. And of course the ES and a lot of these markets give us those small moves. Now what it really means then is this: say if you don't have $4,000, and the reason I say that, to trade your strategy properly, you've got to be capitalized. You've got to have the right amount of capital. Now with the futures markets, we've got what we call the micro contracts. So if you don't have, say in this case, $4,000, which is required per contract you trade with what I'm about to show you, you can start on the micro. with only $400. You see, a micro contract with most micros, they're 10% of the value of a big contract. So what that means is you can go for the same sort of targets but on a smaller contract. Now what you'll notice here is if you want to go for $20 a day, which is the equivalent of $200 a day, you'll need 4 6-tick scalps. I call them steps, 4 6-step scalps. Now when you finally, and just how this compound table works, and you can download this in the link below, by the way, and there's a little training video that goes with it, and that is you only start trading an additional contract when you double your money. So you go from 400 to 800, you now start trading 2 contracts. When you get up to 1200, you start trading 3. We're using the market's money. It is a realistic approach to scalping and day trading. None of this BS compounding where you see you'll make $1 million in 3 months. This is the way to do it. Now once we hit by week 12, potentially legally, I've got to say, you've got your 4,000. We now roll over and we start trading the big contract. Now I only need 3 6-step or 6-tick trades a day. Why only 3? Commissions. You see, the commissions are higher on the micros, but it's just the cost of doing business. And once you build your account, you can roll over and you can see the potential there. Within 12 weeks, 10,000 a week. This is a true potential of this market. Now for the young guns watching this, or those that are willing to maybe put an extra hour or 2 into the market, go for $250 a day, which is 4 scalps. Okay, and look where you are in 9 weeks. Look where you are in 12 weeks, 20,000 plus a week potential income on only 4 scalps a day. I want that to sink in. And if we go back to this for a moment, what am I doing? I'm waiting for my entry signals off trending EMAs. It ain't rocket science, but you've got to learn how to do this and how to identify these setups correctly. So moving right along, there are some other critical factors before I play the video. I'm about to play that now, that we need to consider. Where are our pivot levels? Our open, high, low and low, open, high, low and low, close I should say, our 89 and 200, our swing highs. These all plot now automatically on your chart, and after an hour or 2 of training you'll pick this up. Once again, it's not rocket science, it's just a matter of being committed to learning. So let me now play back this video. And so here it is, just here, and it goes for about 5 or 6 minutes. I pause it in between. In fact, I might even move that camera bottom left rather than the right so we can see this just here. So this is my first trade of the day just here. So I've entered the trade over here and I'm trading 10 contracts. So as I always say, you just need to increase the number of contracts you're trading as you build your account. Once again, I provide you with the template, the approach to use with this. So what I've done here is I've identified a setup, and for members watching this, it's also what we call a T10, you may notice, and I'm after between 6 and 10 ticks. Now I want you to notice here I've lowered my stop loss so that it's only 1 tick above a little swing here. I am at the low of day, and you may notice there that I went to break even automatically, so we can, it's easy to put this in, and let me just pause this for a moment, and you just put it in what we call your ATM or your trading dome, which will do that automatically. Now the reason I lifted my stop up from being break even, because I'm at the low of day, sometimes we'll get a bit of a bounce, and I know is a very high probability going by a higher time frame that I'm going to have some follow-through with this trade. Now you may have noticed I scrolled my chart up there a moment. What was I doing that for? I was looking for what we call pivots. See that red line just there? See how price came down and then bounced upon this? Pivots are a self-fulfilling prophecy. That is, we buy and sell in the pivots every day. Why? Because they act like price magnets. And okay, let's keep this going here. So it's only got about 5 minutes to go because I pause it in between. So here I've got my target down here. So of course once I hit my target, we'll be out of that automatically. So it's actually after 10 ticks in this particular case. Now each tick or each little move you can see there, or each step, is worth $12.50 or $1.25 if you're trading the micro contract. So it's ticking away. Now this, by the way, is midnight Central Standard Time. So it's just after midnight. That is 5 p.m. my part of the world, by the way. And just notice here, we've tagged or touched my target, but I'm still not out of it. I'm not filled yet. And I was about to say, I'm surprised I didn't go to break even, and I was about to do that, and now we're filled. Now I now have a retracement, and for members watching this was actually a T3. A T3 is a reversal setup. Traders don't always take them, but they can be excellent trades. But I'm back onto this one. And the reason being, I've got a very strong downtrend. Hard for you to see there, but my arrow was there. I'm bouncing off a pivot, I'm bouncing off a major EMA, and I've got a target down below, as you can see just there. So in a moment I'll probably bring that stop down. And with that, normally speaking, if I'm trading the 1 tick, I've actually ready to jump over to the 2 tick, which is a higher time frame. And so the strategy I'm using, I need to adjust slightly, but very soon the market will pick up as we head in. So 2 a.m. Central, London opens up, and that's where we get a lot more volatility, and that's where sometimes you need to increase the time frame that you trade. Now what I was just pointing out there, this is the current day's low. Now once again, very confident. I've put my stop 1 tick back up above the swing. It's only a 6 tick stop, which is $75, and I'm front running in this case. Now what's front running? Front running is where you get out before any other major support or resistance level, such as the low of day, a pivot, etc., because professional traders will quite often exit before that level, because the amateurs will be at that level or just below. Now there are reasons why sometimes we won't go to break even earlier, or why we'll have our target on the other side, but front running is very common. And of course you learned that in my program, and once again, it ain't rocket science. So just waiting to get filled just here, and I'm now out of this trade. So that's 2 from 2, just plain vanilla. I call them 2Bs, by the way, plain vanilla. You had a 2B there. That technical is a 2B, but right on a pivot. Don't want to take that one. That was a 2B. This is a 2B. So once you learn the rules, traders, and understand what 2Bs are, let's get onto this, sorry. And so just here I'm in a reversal trade. So here I would have taken this probably because, and I can't remember if I put this on the chart, but it's probably a divergence trade on a higher time frame. And that brings in one of my secrets. One of the secrets are I trade in the direction of a higher time frame. See, on a small chart we get a lot of what we call noise. I want to look for a retracement or a pullback that then continues back in the direction of the higher time frame, and that's what you don't see here, but it kicks butt. Now what you'll see, I go to break even usually very early with a reversal trade. Why? You've got a trend is probably more likely to continue 80% of the time than say a reversal. Now you can see there I'm out of that trade. I only picked up what do we pick up? 2 ticks out of that. And I'm back in this one here, and so for members watching this, that was a 2D, and this is a T10 again. So we had a T10 over here, and we've got a T10 reversal. And do you know what it is, traders? Nothing more than a pattern. That's all it is. It's a pattern that we see. And can you see the arrow once again? Now, whoops, I'm just going back here and just giving you here, just pointing out, and there's no voiceover on the video. When I trade, I'll usually just hit record. Sometimes I'll pause it, but I just want to really focus on my trading. And then we continued, and we then a couple of other really nice trades in at that state. Now this is what you generally want to avoid. See that? No, in that case back there was actually and this is the anchor chart, by the way. So what I had there on the anchor chart was a setup on the anchor chart, and so was that one to go short. Once again, really easy. Once you understand what you're looking for, you've got your sound alerts can alert you, but you want to be really on what I call on the ball traders. And the reason being, if you're scalping a 1 tick of a 2 tick, and really it doesn't matter which market you're scalping, it can move really quickly at times. So you really want to be focused when you trade. So in that particular case, it was 12 minutes of trading. There I hit my 20 ticks. That was $266 per contract. So traders, anyone can basically learn how to do this if you're committed, and that is, you've got to be willing to put some screen time in, and willing to watch the charts, willing to watch the training videos. It's a bit like, they say, you just can't pick up a book and learn how to swim. You just can't really pick up a manual and learn how to play the piano. You need to have some sessions, some coaching, and that's what I do. So traders, this is the reality of trading. You can be writing literally your own ticket. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You've got to give yourself some time to learn this. Traders quite often ask me, how fast or how quickly can I learn these setups? And I would say, how quickly do you want to learn them? The greater the screen time spread over a period of time, the more likely you are to pick them up within 60-90 days. And that leads me then into the setups that we trade. You really want to focus just on a handful of setups. We want to be initially trading with the trend, and you ignore any of these. For an example, this one here, as a new trader, you wouldn't take that. You'd be taking a trade here, that one, even this one, taking that one. I wasn't in those two. I wasn't until down here, and then hit my target. You want to be trading with the trend. It just makes life so much easier. So traders, why don't you come and join me? Make sure you subscribe to my channel. For $297 you get lifetime access to the members area. All the updated training videos that I produce every month or so. I'm producing new videos on how to train and live trading recap videos, as well as that you can attend 8 of my live coaching sessions. Now after that 1 month, if you choose, you can email me and you can then join the coaching sessions for $197 a month ongoing if you choose to join. You're not signing up for that initially. You just get your 8 sessions. So traders, thank you for watching. Come and join me. Let me teach you how to scalp and day trade the markets.